Roch, how you doing? It's good to see you.
Randy, same here. Good to see you.
It's a pleasure. I'm Randy Vance, Editor-in-Chief of Boating Magazine, and today I have the pleasure of interviewing Roch Lambert, the new president of the Recreational Boat Holdings Group, who is the parent company of Four Winds Boat. It's a whole new economy, Roch, and I want to thank you for taking the time to talk to me.
It's always a pleasure to meet you, Randy.
So tell me, who is Platinum Equity and what are their intentions?
Platinum Equity is essentially a private equity fund. So what they do is they raise money from different investors, and then they apply or invest that money in different businesses that they acquire, around a wide spectrum of businesses. So Platinum Equity is essentially our shareholder, the only shareholder we have. Their focus is obviously to create value with the organizations that they purchase. In our case, of course, when they put their hands on the brands, it was a situation where they knew it was going to be a turnaround, so they would have to invest for a while before they make it successful.
Now, you were appointed president of the Recreational Boat Holdings about 6 months ago. What was your personal mandate there? One
of the key goals that they have is, obviously, they wanted to enter the boat business in a fairly big way, so the acquisition of our group, and then the Fishing Holdings Group as well, which is a Ranger, Stratus, Champion, and now Triton was added to that, really puts them in a very strong position in the marine industry. So they're not only a player, they're frankly one of the largest players now in the industry. So they were passionate about entering this business. One of the things that Platinum mandated me to do was to really build a professional organization. So really running a boat company like any very highly professional business is ran nowadays, and making sure that way we really instill a lot of confidence in the dealer network, which eventually, of course, is going to lift the company and allow us to generate the returns that we expect for the shareholders that we have.
Roch, there's been a lot of changes in the marketplace in the last few years, yet you've remained personally successful throughout. Tell me, what's your business philosophy that's helped you get through this?
One of the things is, of course, my job is to identify the opportunities that we have. So making sure I understand the business well enough so that I can really put my hands around what are the levers that we have that will make a big difference. So identifying the opportunities, and then I would say the most important part of the job is to make sure that I set goals and I rally people behind them. And so that means communicating where we're going all the time. It's very important that people understand where you want to take the ship so that they can help you steer it in that direction.
About a year or so ago, you left a really secure position at Evinrude and BRP, a place you were really successful. What made you do that, and what were you looking for when you stepped away?
I spent 16 years at BRP, and I'll say it was a phenomenal 16 years. We had a great time there. I was lucky enough to be given very interesting challenges over those 16 years, and made some successes, pretty interesting successes out of them. There again, it's kind of where I defined what I thought was the right recipe for success. And, so things happened where the company needed me to relocate in a different country, and for family reasons, I decided that it was probably time for me to go do something else. Reflected on it for a few months, and then I came across the Platinum Equity guys that had, at that point in time, just bought the assets of the Genmar bankruptcy. And spent a little bit of time with them talking about strategic options that they had and whatnot, and they wanted to pick my brains on some of the knowledge I had about the industry. And frankly, really liked, number one, the guys that I was interacting with, and secondly, the way they were looking at the business. They understood that it was going to be a turnaround. They would have to be patient, invest time and resources to make it work. An image I use very often when I talk to people, and it seems to be a good way of, I guess, explaining what's going on, is 6 months ago when I walked into the job, I had a feeling that I was walking into a white room with black paint. So every little thing that you do has a huge impact to the business, and that's been a lot of fun. And then, I bring some knowledge, and mixing it with the great experience that the team has over there. We have a phenomenal group of people. It's just a lot of fun. It's just so much fun to see those people start succeeding, and looking at how the turnaround is shaping up and whatnot. I really enjoy that part of it, and so it was a good fit for what I've done, my experiences, and frankly what I like to do.
You know, in this economy, a lot of brands are pulling back on the R&D. How about Four Winds? What's new in the pipeline for them?
You know, it was part of our mandate with the Platinum team that we got to make sure that we invest smartly in the business. And in our industry, product is king. You got to figure out a way to continually bring some new products to the pipeline so that you get your dealers energized and you bring the consumers back. You know, they want to see the latest and the greatest. And so in the last 6 months since I've been on board, we launched formally our V305, the new 30-foot pocket cruiser that we launched in Fort Lauderdale. We have a 20-foot boat that's also in the works that should be launched. Right now we're focusing on Miami. And then I can tell you that the following 18 months we have 15 new boats that are being developed right now that are at different stages that we will be announcing. So I can tell you I'm expecting that our company is going to be probably the one that has the most to talk about in terms of new products in the next 18 months.
The 2011 models are now out in the marketplace, Roch. How are they going?
You know what, they've really rewarded us with firm orders, which is obviously the ultimate goal that we had in mind. So right now we're booked for many, many weeks to come. Our production is running pretty much full bore right now, and we're pretty excited. I mean, the response has really been encouraging.
Now, Roch, a lot of people are saying that the marketplace is just not good for boating, that floor plan credit is hard to get, consumer credit is hard to get. Is that what you're finding at your new position with Four Winds and Platinum Equity Group?
You know, there has been some financial constraints without a doubt in the system overall. Number one, I have to say that we're working very closely with GE, and they have been, frankly, a very good partner over the last, I can speak for the last 6 months for sure. Wholesale financing has not been an issue. If you talk to the banks, the institutions that are involved on the retail side of the business, they're seeing definitely good traction. The rates are very acceptable right now. In fact, I would say it's an incentive to buy.
Can you tell me a little bit about the new Four Winds demonstration dealer program?
We knew that we had to figure out a way to build enough flexibility to have the boats available when the consumers want them, and also give them an opportunity 12 months a year to be able to try the products. Because obviously when you're going to be paying, $400, $500, whatever, thousands of dollars for a product, you do want to have a chance to really test it before you buy it. So we came up with the idea of having this arrangement made. Legendary Marine down in Destin, Florida is just a perfect fit for what we had in mind. Fred Pace and his team have done a phenomenal job. They have a second to none facility down here. And so the idea was we're going to have some boats available 12 months a year down in Florida, so that if a consumer looks at a boat in January in New York, for instance, his dealer and the consumer could fly down here, spend a couple of days. Fred has made wonderful accommodations available for our dealers and their customers to come down, and they'll be able to test the boats. They'll be able to spend some time on the boats with their family if they want to, whatever they want to do to really get a good sense for what the experience is going to be. And so it allows us, number one, to stock all the models in one location. Number two, it provides flexibility for dealers in the Northeast or anywhere in the north of the country to be able to have consumers look and test boats at any point in time during the year that they want, which, sometimes people just want to make the decision in January and have the boat ready come April or May so they can use it. Well, now we give them that flexibility, and we do all of that without putting financial burden on the dealers that would have to stock 10, 15 different models in their own locations.
Well, Roch, I really appreciate you taking the time to do this. And now after we've talked about these, would you mind showing me the 355 out here?
Hey, that'd be fun.
After you, man.
Let's go.
Thanks.
Thanks.